Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Catatonia's YouTube channel, starring me, the mighty 𝕊𝕬𝕑𝒧𝒏𝒂𝒎𝒑𝒔. This is Bosses Only, the video series where we look at just the bosses from a dungeon, because you don't suck on trash, we suck on bosses! From the Wrathstone DLC, this is Depths of Malatar. Why is it called Depths of Malatar? I don't actually know, but let's go kill the first boss, shall we? Through this door is boss number 1, the Scavenging Maw. He's one of those great big hunger things, except he's extra big and extra beefy. He's got the standard attack of a big old heavy attack, tank, taunt him, turn him away from the group, make sure he's got his back to the group at all times. There'll be a breath attack and a load of vomit will come out. It's 2 to 3 circles of it. If you pop magma shell, you can just stand there and stack them all, but that is 3 times the DOT. Otherwise, try to move side to side. As you've just seen, the boss jumps up in the air, turns invisible. At this point, you need to go looking for him. He'll be waiting somewhere invisible until somebody gets to him, at which point that person will be pinned to the ground. So stay close to the tank so that he can be bashed immediately and taunt can be reapplied to him. While you're running around, there are going to be extra smaller hungers and little spreading AoE poo things that turn into poos that hurt. So avoid all that stuff, find the man, bash the man, taunt the man and turn the man away, then start shooting the man in the bum. Watch out for the circles of vomit, move side to side to avoid them, make sure that the group is in the middle with the tank on the inside pointing him away. He's gone up in the air again, let's go looking for him. Here comes some hungers, watch out for the poo circles on the floor. It's a lot of little silly things to avoid, but it's not too bad. There's the man, bash the man, taunt the man, turn the man away, and we're going to do it all again. For the tank, this is pretty tough, but as long as you keep your block up, self-heal, you can get all the poo circles stacked and then move yourself to a safe spot, and he's jumped up in the air and disappeared again. So we're going to go looking for him again. Ideally you want to stay with the tank, try not to get too far ahead, because remember, the first person to get to the boss is going to get pinned to the ground and have just a few seconds to live if the boss is not bashed. Here we go, pinned, bash the man, taunt the man, turn the man away. And now it's just a quick burn to the execute. And he's dead. Congratulations. Loot your lockpicks. Because, you know, lockpicks are good for unlocking things. As you can see, it's really not too bad. Tank can always stay on the inner side of the room with the group in the middle. And anywhere there's an opening between shelves, you can stand there. The group can shoot him. The tank can hold him in a place where everyone can get at him. And there's places to lay all the poo. But let's go through this door and make our way to the next boss. This is the Weeping Woman. Why is she weeping? I don't know. But let's give her something to weep about. Like beating her up. Lol. So the Weeping Woman, once she actually makes her transformation, becomes one of those big sexy tits lady monster things. And she's got all the usual attacks. There's rubbish coming up out of the floor. This is like a frozen ice thing. Get out of that circle. Dump your ulties if you've got them. Now, sometimes she'll do that circle and it'll be more like a donut with a safety space on the inside and danger on the outside. Either way that it goes, make sure you get to it. Watch out for these stone watchers. Tank needs to taunt them right away. They are priority target, because if they hit the group, they can absolutely wreck you with their extremely beefy hit, so make sure you kill them. Occasionally, the lady is also going to summon an Ice Atronach. Here's another stone watcher. There's also geysers of poo coming out of the floor. It's a lot of little AoEs to look out for. Always prioritize the stone watchers as they spawn, but otherwise focus on the lady. Watch out for the ice circles. Sometimes there's the donut shape where you can be safe on the middle. Sometimes it's a big circle and you need to be outside of it. Either way, it's not too bad. Just watch where you step and you'll have no trouble. She's defeated. Loot your lockpicks. Let's go through this door to the next boss. This is the Dark Orb. I don't know why it's called a Dark Orb. It looks pretty bright to me. It should be called the Bright Orb. Anyway, tank will start by grabbing these ads, pulling them over here, and it'll become damageable. There you go. Start attacking it. A few seconds into fighting it, it's going to spawn another orb somewhere in the room. Here we go. A yellow one. Every time the yellow one pulses, you get a bit of a healing debuff, and it really sucks. Destroy it as quickly as possible. After that's destroyed, you're going to see that there's a man over here with the tank now, an Auroran, and he's really beefy. So kill him as quickly as you can. Once he dies, the big ball becomes damageable again. Damage it for a minute, and he will spawn another orb. The boss actually calls out what colour he's spawning, depending on what he says. Here we've got, I think this is the blue ball, which creates ice totems and gives the Aurorans ice damage. Now that the ball is dead, you'll see that there's more Aurorans. Kill them, then damage the ball again. This time it's red, the colour of fiery passion and boiling blood. So look for the red orb, it's somewhere in the room, and destroy it as quickly as possible. Red, as you can imagine, probably means fire damage. So now there's going to be falling fiery things everywhere. Once the ball is destroyed, go back and attack the Aurorans. You will notice that each time a ball spawns, an extra Auroran comes in the next wave. So first we had 1, then we had 2, now we have 3. After these have been defeated and the ball becomes damageable, it'll summon another orb, and then there'll be 4 Aurorans. So this time we've got purple, the colour of regality, and savage dashes in the night sky. Purple does lightning damage, so we need to destroy that because you'll get all these little lightning AoEs, and those are also really rather awful. So we'll get rid of the purple ball, and now as you can see, there's 4 Aurorans to kill. Kill them as quickly as you can, and then keep working on the ball. Looks like the ball is currently damageable, so we can take the ball and the men all at once. And there we go. Not too tough. 𝕊𝕌𝔹𝕊𝕂𝕼, very dank. And we'll move on through this door, which will lead us to the next boss. King Narilmor, very interesting boss. The first thing you'll want to do once he appears, here he comes, there he is hold tab and mark him so that you always know where he is, because one thing he's going to do during this fight is he's going to disappear and then reappear in one random corner of the room, but each corner of the room will have a copy of him. This will let you know which one is the real one. You used to be able to just mark him with weakness to elements, well I suppose you still can, but following update 36 they've introduced the ability to mark targets, and it's honestly better to do that and not change a skill on your bar, so mark him. That way, when he reappears, you'll know which one he is, because there he is with the mark. Meanwhile, the tank is going to taunt all the other ones, and then he's going to run from corner to corner around the room, trying to position them, eventually, as close as he can to the real boss, so that they're all in a nice cluster and the copies can be killed. Look carefully at the copies. They've all got a glowy effect on them. There's one with a yellow effect, and he can do Jesus Beam. There's one with a red effect, and he can do fire attacks, and there's one with a purple effect, and he could do lightning attacks, so you want to watch out for that. I believe it's also possible for them to have the yellow healing debuff ability on them, so make sure always that you're interrupting them and keeping them moving until you've wound them in close enough to the boss that they can be taken down with cleave. Another thing going on one side of the room, you'll see the lady who runs through you for the quest in this dungeon is fighting with a ghost. Ideally, she needs to be healed, because if the ghost defeats her, all the copies will get damage shields and be even harder to kill. Which is most definitely not what we want, but here we are, 3 damage dealers in a tank. We're not healing the lady, and we're doing this the hard way. Oh well, you live and you learn, so remember, heal the lady, don't let the ghost defeat her, and all the copies will be much, much easier to kill. So, it's the same thing again. Keep everything taunted, Mr. Tank. Run around the room, try to slowly wind them in. It used to be possible to just stand in one corner and they'd all come straight to you, but now they don't come quite as far, and you've got to run round and round to slowly maneuver them into place. But there we go, he's dead, very dank 𝕊𝕌𝔹𝕊𝕂𝕼. And we'll go to the final boss, the Symphony of Blades. And naturally, let's read the magazine. Can't have been a very good article if it gave such a headache. But hard mode it is. Let's prepare to fight the man. So, Symphony of Blades, he is one of those great big 4-armed, sword-wielding mega beefcakes, all dressed up in a nice shiny suit of armour. So, as you can see, he's got the usual charged heavy attack. Tank can simply block that. And we're seeing the wall phase. So, the walls, it's just like in 𝕊𝕑𝕑. There's a wall coming across the room. If you touch it, you will die. However, you can actually kill these ghosts, so it is always safest to just kill the middle one. Leave the hole there. The tank is going to keep the boss still, and the hole will pass through him. You just saw the big spinning helicopter attack that the boss does. You definitely don't want to step in that. It will constantly move towards you while doing that, but if you step just to the outside of the circle, he'll actually keep completely still and he won't come forward anymore. The mechanic happening now, the boss will become invincible and stay in the middle of the room, and he'll summon 4 different coloured bulky ghost men. There's a red one, fire damage, there's a purple one, lightning damage, a blue one, ice damage, and a yellow one, Jesus Beam damage. Kill as many of them as you can, but especially focus on the purple one and the red one. Ice and the Jesus Beam aren't too bad to deal with, because after you've defeated all of them, and the boss is damageable again, he will have the abilities of any ad that made it to him. So if the red guy got to him, he'll be able to do a fire attack. If the purple guy got to him, he'll be able to do a lightning attack. As only the blue guy got to him, he'll be able to summon ice abilities on us, and that's not too bad to deal with. Let's talk for a second about the 𝕃𝕀𝕂𝔼 ability. If you see a huge growing AoE circle thing on you, get out of the group immediately before it blows. It does a healing debuff, it's quite awful. You don't want that hitting everybody else because anyone in it will take damage from it. Other than that, it's back on attacking the boss. Block the big heavy attack, make sure to attack him from behind, and anytime an orb spawns, make sure to kill it. Here comes the wall section again, so we're going to take out the middle ghost to make a safe hole. Tank can just stay in the middle of the room and lead the boss away from the wall until there's a safe hole, at which time he can just wait for the wall to pass over him. Any orbs that spawn, be sure to take them out. They're just like during the dark orb fight. So the red one, fire damage, the blue one, ice damage, purple lightning damage, and the yellow, Jesus Beamy type damage. Kill any balls that you see, and then it's back on the boss. Boss is going invincible in the center of the room again, and he's summoning 4 coloured bulky ghosts in each corner. So again, we want to try, if we can, to take out as many as possible, but especially take out the red and the purple, because the fire and the lightning are the 2 worst abilities for the boss to get, which can make the fight a lot tougher. Remember always to keep your eye out for 𝕃𝕀𝕂𝔼. If that is on you, and it will be indicated by a big growing AoE circle around your feet, take it out of the group. Don't let it explode on anyone. Very dank. There's another orb. Let's make sure to take out the orb. And now something a little different's going to happen. So at around about 11, 10, 9, 8% of his health, he's going to teleport us all the way to Meridia's coloured rooms for the big final execute showdown. On non-hard mode, the boss would only go back up to 25% health here, but on hard mode, like we're on, he goes all the way up to 50%. Now, you can run around this entire room, but for extra safety, it's nice to get into one of these little niches in the rocks over here. Tank will taunt him, everybody needs to be spread out. At this point in the fight, the boss is going to have all 4 abilities. He's going to have the Jesus Beam ability, he's going to be able to summon meteors with the fire damage, he's going to do lightning attacks with the lightning ability, and he's going to be able to summon ice pillars. The orbs are also going to spawn and do even more of the same thing. So orbs are priority. Anytime an orb spawns in the room, try to kill it. As you may have just seen, ghost walls are here too, and they are absolutely everywhere. They're a lot shorter, but there's a lot more of them. You can run all around the room and try to kite around them, but when you're trying to do that and avoid all these other different things that are going on, you can end up in a world of trouble. It's kind of safer to stay right up at the edge, because you won't have to worry about the walls. They will spawn and disappear just in front of you, and you won't have to touch them, because touching them is instant death. This would also appear to have been a death, but that was a practice. Meanwhile, it looks like the tank is attempting to res people. We'll have a lovely view of this, because we're wedged up against the wall and we can't move the camera. As you can see, there in the middle of the room, there are so many of those walls, trying to avoid all the things that the boss summons, all the things that the orbs summon, and deal with the walls as well. You can very easily find yourself between a rock and a hard place with nowhere to go. Tank has heroically rezzed the beautiful 𝕃𝕀𝕂𝔼, who wasn't really dead, she was just having a practice. And now we're going to try to finish this off. Again, with the balls, make sure you take them out, because they're all over the place, and the more that they're up, the more stacking damage effects can be in the room. You don't want ice pillars and lightning splashes and fire meteors and everything else all at once. Keep shielding. Focus on any balls that spawn. Make sure you don't ever move too far out of your safety corner, because you don't want to accidentally touch a wall. That'll be the end of you. Unfortunately, it's too much of a risk to run out there with the walls to try and get closer to that orb, so we're just going to have to try and take it out from range. As you can see, even though that one's up, another one has just been summoned. When this happens, that's when things can get especially tough, because with more than one orb, you can end up with an unbelievable number of piles of crap all over the floor, everywhere you stand. And again, we're in here, on a hard mode, without a healer, doing it the hard way. Although I'm sure we'll be just fine. Zahn's proccing there to do some damage. Again, the boss still does his spinning attack, the boss still does his big heavy attack, so the tank's got to not drop taunt. Here he is doing the Jesus Beam. Here's an orb, let's try to take it out. It's not worth the time it takes to kill the ghost walls, because they can just keep on respawning. So as long as you stay in your corner, use your self-heals, shield yourself as much as you can. Barrier is probably a good suggestion here for an ulti to try to protect everyone. And remember, don't stay too close together. You've just seen there, AoEs around everyone's feet, indicating that the flame attack is coming. And when that lands, it splits into 4 that trail out and radiate all over the place that you want to avoid. So don't stack them together. It's like a Venn diagram, no touching. The circles can touch as long as the circle doesn't touch another person. We've almost got him. As long as you have got a good self-heal, maybe a shield, and you stay in your area and you focus the balls, you're going to be able to get this done. And there we go. Super tank. Loot your lockpicks and your Symphony of Blades mask. Congratulations! You have beaten Depths of Malatar's extremely horrible hard mode, which was very dank of you. Subscribe if you like what you see by clicking the subscribe button and click that little bell to get notified when there's a new video on Catatonya's YouTube channel. You can also check out Twitter. And what else have we got? Instagram, it's probably full of pictures, I think. And YouTube, which you're on. Hi. And don't forget to check out the stream at twitch.tv/Catatonia. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Boss Only.